Shabazz come up so that we can have him read a statement from his brother, Hassan, a member of the Virginia Prisoner of Conscience. Wahid himself is the founder and director of Affirm Foundation, Incorporated. Wahid?
Yeah. You got the letter? Have you? All right, greetings, everyone. This is from my brother Wahid Shabazz in Augusta Correctional Center. He says, peace and justice to the unified family. We have come here today in a show of solidarity toward the goal of ending mass incarceration in Virginia. Mass incarceration affects us all regardless of our race, gender, nationality, religion, or sexual preference. Thus, the struggle for prison reform is now being recognized as a struggle for the most basic human rights. The rights to life and liberty are being denied to many through the implementation of draconian laws and policies which have left you, the taxpayer, footing the billion-dollar bill. Many ask the questions, what is prison reform? What does it look like? And what part do I play? Well, prison reform denotes a change in the laws and policies that govern corrections, but this is not all. Reform also means that the minds of those within the system have to be transformed in a manner that enables them to benefit from the changes in the laws and policies that we seek. Okay, can everyone hear me? All right. In short, prisoners also have to be held accountable for doing their part. And this is where you, the family and community, come in. For 20 years, I have watched the Department of Corrections change for the worst. The mentality of those behind the walls now reflect products of a broken system. They have fully assimilated into the idea that a culture of poverty and ignorance is acceptable. They have fallen into a state of nihilism and depression that is unrivaled. This must change, and you can help bring about this change. The days of an older prisoner taking the younger under his wing to educate him are long gone. Policies have been put in practice to make it hard for conscious prisoners to change the mentality of the population around us. We cannot hold a forum, call a meeting, or gather together to discuss our issues without fear of reprisal. The administration has literally tied our hands to keep us from awakening those around us. Those policies and barriers have to be removed. But in the meantime, we have to try something new. You must hold your loved ones behind bars to a higher standard. Do not cater to a culture of ignorance. You send them money for commissary, music, games, phone calls to show your love, but this only pacifies them. Allowing them to cope with their incarceration without prompting them to become involved in changing their condition. Help us by withholding your gifts until they show themselves worthy of them. Reward them when they obtain their GED, get a trade, or read a new book. Push them towards positivity. You can easily assist in prison reform in this way. We have to make it cool to be conscious. We have to make it cool to be a conscious member of the movement towards reform, and shame those in prison when they have nothing intelligent or productive to offer in the way of understanding their condition. Eventually, they will seek out those who can enlighten them about their role in the struggle to end mass incarceration. This will change the culture in prison and produce the type of men and women that you can be proud of. So from this day forward, let us be unified in our efforts to change this oppressive system, for truthfully, we are stronger together. Let us remember that mass incarceration affects us all, so we should all be involved in bringing it to an end. Thank you for lending me your ears and hearts. In solidarity, Wahid Shabazz. And I'm a former offender, and I'm a recovering alcoholic. And my personal testimony, I'm going to be brief, is that after years of addiction and going in and out of jail, I turned my life around. Went back to school, got a double major in psychology and sociology, and I'm getting my master's degree. It was in mental health counseling until I started running into roadblocks, dealing with barrier crimes that prevent people from working in the human service field if they have a felony. My felony was 27 years ago, the one that's stopping me. I was working as a crisis specialist, and they told me that I could no longer hold that position once my background came back. And the crime that stopped me from working in that profession was 27 years old, a burglary charge from 27 years ago. I'm not the same person I was a year ago, let alone 27 years ago. Yeah. So we have to do something about the collateral consequences that face former offenders. And like my brother Hassan was saying, there has to be accountability and responsibility on the inmates and former offenders to make the necessary changes. But when we make those necessary changes, we should not be hindered by barrier crimes and the collateral consequences that stop us from true equal opportunity and true freedom, justice, and equality. So we have an uphill battle, but we can get it done. It's about we the people. We cannot wait for politicians to do it for us. We got to hold them accountable. I respect Governor McAuliffe for taking a stance on prison reform and the new Governor Northam. But if they're going to run on that campaign, we got to hold them accountable for following through once they've been elected. So let us come together. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I don't even know how I'm going to follow that one up, I'll be honest with you. But I do have a statement to read from Russell Imperial Banks from Red Onion State Prison.